The sun has gone in now, but the last couple of hours it's been sunny, and it's about 5 degrees. So I'd say that's riding weather. The roads have not been dry and completely free of slippery stuff for many weeks. So this is a welcome change. Yeah, I said it weeks ago that we're going to have an early spring. That's my prediction, and I stand by it. Still only January, but I feel it in the air. I was doing some work in my studio this morning, and I could hear the birds singing outside. They think it's going to be an early spring too. They agree with me. So I went out into the garage and did some work on the bikes. Nothing much, just checking a few things, adjusting the clutch free play, stuff like that on the 650, checking the sag front and rear, just anticipating the riding season for that bike. I've always wanted to fly, but I'm not sure that I would, well, one, I can't afford a plane, so that solves that question right away. But even if I could afford a plane, I'm not sure I would actually do it. I went out flying with a friend once. He had a small plane, and he had his commercial pilot's license. And he says, "Hey John, want to go out flying?" I said, "Sure." So he took me up, and we went up over the lake and over the mountains, and he starts climbing, and really climbing, steep angle. And suddenly this red light on the dash started flashing, and his buzzer started beeping, bah, bah, bah. And I'm thinking, whoa, what? So I said, "What's up? What's that all about?" And he says, "Oh, nothing to worry about. It's just a stall warning indicator." I said, "Stall warning?" I guess what he was doing was he was practicing coming up to a stall and then diving out of it. Nice of you to do that while I'm in the plane. Luckily, I'm not a nervous passenger. Not in planes, anyway. If it were a car, and you were doing something a little risky, and I was a passenger, I'd be nervous. I was a passenger once in a car, and the guy fell asleep at the wheel, hit a parked car at, I think we were going about, I don't know, maybe 70 kilometers an hour, something like that. And we just smashed right into it, come to a dead stop in a heartbeat, and I couldn't do a damn thing about it. I reached over to him at the time, I remember this in slow motion, and I got out the word watch. I was trying to say watch out. Too late. My head was through the windshield, and then as the car came to a final halt, it snapped back through the windshield. So it was like I went through the windshield twice. Nasty. I didn't realize I was even injured. I pulled him out of the car and helped him and asked him if he was okay. And then I realized I was covered in blood. My clothes were soaked by that time because I had broke 2 arteries, which is not very cool. 2 arteries in my head. I woke up a lady. It was around 4:30 in the morning, and after her initial scream at the door, I asked her to call an ambulance. She did, and obviously I made it okay. I lost most of the blood in my body, if you can believe that. I know I lost, I forget how much, 6.5 pints of blood. which is probably 3/4 of the blood in the body. And yeah, the doc said, well, you know, once it was all over, he said, you know, you were only maybe 5 minutes at the most from death. Then you would have lost too much. So I was very fortunate. Some world famous surgeon happened to be at the hospital, and he stitched me back up, repaired the arteries, connected all the nerve endings so I don't have any facial paralysis. Yeah, pretty cool. But that left me as a very nervous car passenger. Much more so for the first 10 years after the accident. I'm a little less nervous now, but I prefer to be in control. Give me the wheel, not the passenger seat. I guess that's just an example of how your life can be over literally in a heartbeat. One moment of inattention, or in his case, drifting off. So on a motorcycle, I mean, what we do, this is dangerous. But that's part of the attraction, right? I mean, you got to admit it is. And that's okay, as long as you're not stupid about it. You know, it's one thing getting into an accident when you're the one in control, when you're the one riding or driving. At least when you get into an accident through your own fault, maybe you can learn from it. So that gives you some control down the line. But when it's someone else at the controls, all it does is just upset your confidence in being a passenger, because there's nothing you can do about the other person next to you, or if you're a passenger on a motorcycle, the other person in front of you. What's this wet on the road? We don't want this. I said before, the roads were dry. Just the lane I'm in is wet. Anyway, like when I had my accident on this bike, 250, years ago. I don't know, maybe some of you hadn't seen that. I'll put a link to the video up right here, maybe, if I can do that. And I mean, that wasn't too good. It could have been a lot more serious. But I did dislocate my shoulder. I rode home on it, by the way, with a dislocated shoulder. That hurt. But anyway, that's another story. But okay, I had the accident and I learned a lot from it. And I don't intend to repeat it. So that gave me some control. So I'm not nervous. I'm not overly cautious. Well, for a while I was, understandably, but not permanent. Anyway, I don't know how I got on this subject. The sun is shining again, as you notice. I like it. So I think that's all I got today. I don't think I have anything more to say. So thanks for joining me on this, what is it, January 25th. Sunny ride, partly sunny ride, 5 degrees. You have fun, ride safe. Catch you in another one.